Well, hello. Joining me here in this video series about death and dying. One, I want to talk about forgiveness because it's a huge thing. Because, like, there's, in the process, right? So, just to give you a little backstory, my brother just transitioned into the light, into the love, into the heart of God last week. And between that time and now, I've been deep in a state of divine grace and learning about death and the dying process and having my own experience of my brother's passing and leaving. Because I think that is something that is, it's not unique to me. I think that we all go through these experiences of regretting and you know, forgiveness. So I want to talk about forgiveness, but forgiveness from the standpoint of maybe okay, let's look at it from the position of maybe you have some unforgiveness towards the person that passed, and you're really having a difficult time reconciling with that, right? Maybe there was something that happened in your relationship that split you in a way that caused a major chasm to occur, right? And maybe you haven't talked to this person in years or whatever the reason is, right? And they make their transition, and you're like, oh, it just kind of wow, right? And so then how is it that you deal with that, right? And so we go through this whole process of like, maybe we're just still angry, we don't even care, whatever, you know, right? Because we haven't talked to them in so long. It's like they were already gone anyway. Now they were just like, whatever. Now they're just like really, really gone. Well, maybe you don't care. Maybe you don't care now. Maybe you don't care now. Maybe you're just still telling that same story to yourself about why um, you don't care and why you're gonna have unforgiveness or whatever. Or but then there might come this sweet moment. The sweet moment of grace might occur for you where your heart might soften, and you might really tune into the vibration, the frequency of maybe just regret. Maybe you begin with the regret and just like, wow, he really is gone or she really is gone. And I, wow, I won't ever have the opportunity to sit across from a table from them. Even if for the last 15 years I didn't want to, but now I never will. It's not even an option. It's off the table because they're not here anymore. And then you start having these feelings, and who knows, maybe it's a week after they're gone, or maybe a month or a year or 5 years or 10 years, but who knows? Right? But this sliver of divine grace comes in and just lights up your heart and says, like, wow, wow. And maybe you have this even if it's a tinge of regret, but you can feel it. You can feel your heart beginning to soften. And in that softening of the heart, then it opens up the opportunity for the vibration of forgiveness to be released, right? Maybe there's a two-part process here, right? Maybe the first part, and sometimes it's the hardest, especially if this person has in your mind done something that was just horrific to you, created trauma in your life, right? Maybe once you get to this part where you have that tinge of regret and you can begin to feel something, maybe you write a letter to this person and express yourself fully, and then see if you can get to the place inside of your heart where you can actually forgive this person and forgive them for what they did. And we would say that everyone was doing the best that they could with what they knew, and that we're all growing and learning lessons in this life, right? And so not everybody's going to do it perfect all the time. Sometimes people do it horribly wrong, or what I wouldn't say there's a wrong. I would say they do it in such a way that creates a lot of trauma, right, for themselves and for others. So, so then, can you move to that place of like just forgiving them? I forgive you for maybe not having the tools to navigate that time, in a way that was loving and kind, right? For whatever happened. And so just see if you can come to that place where you can just tap into just the forgiveness, forgiving them for judging them, Well, that would be forgiving yourself for judging them, but forgiving them and stop judging them and just realize that they did the best that they could. It was all that they knew. They couldn't do any better because if they could have done better, they would have done better. And that you can now forgive them for not knowing. Just forgive them for not knowing better. I forgive you for not knowing better. I forgive you for not knowing a better way, you know, to be. And see if you can just open up to that forgiveness and just allow your heart to just kind of soften. Those things take time. Forgiveness is a really challenging place to land if you have carried a resentment for a long time. It's hard. Can be. But you can also just like choose in a holy instant. I'm going to forgive that person right now. I've forgiven, and you'll know that you've forgiven them when there's no longer this tape recorder that's running in your mind that's reminding you of all the terrible things that happened or they did or whatever, right? And let's see if we can liberate ourselves in this time as beloveds or people that have impacted our lives in powerful ways as they make their journey on home. Okay. Mm. So beautiful to have this time together with you. I look forward to it again. Many, many blessings. Many, many, many blessings. Be loved, beloved, beloved. We'll talk again soon. All right, let's